Yeah, so today we will contemplate on Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga 4.3. Padmaji will recite and explain. Yes, Padmaji.
स evāyaṁ mayā तेद्य yogaḥ proktaḥ purātanaḥ bhaktosi me sakhā cheti rahasyam hyetad uttamam. The same ancient knowledge of yoga, which is the supreme secret, I am today revealing unto you, because you are my friend as well as my devotee, who can understand this transcendental wisdom. Sir, that eva, certainly, ayam, this, maya, by me, te, unto you, adya, today, yoga, the science of yoga, proktaḥ, reveal, purātanaḥ, ancient, bhaktaḥ, devotee, asi, you are, me, maya, my, sakhā, friend, cha, and, iti, therefore, rahasyam, secret. He, certainly, etat, this, uttamam, supreme.
Perfect. So, Isha ji, you will be able to, you are able to listen, right? And you would like to share?
Sarananji, I'll go after some time. Is that okay?
Okay, fine. How about Vinny ji or Sashti? Would you like to start? So Vinny ji, so this is the sloka that we are going to contemplate on. So Padmaji has introduced how to recite, and then she said the meaning and the meaning of the what this sloka is talking about, and the word by word meaning as well, right? So now what we do is all of us take turns and share what we understand from this English translation.
सा mayā-स daya yogaḥ proktaḥ purātanaḥ bhakto me sakhā cheti rahasyaṁ hyetad uttamam. Is it correct?
Okay, yeah, we will spend again some time to recite. So now, like, we will spend more time on the understanding. Okay, so like looking at the explanation given in the slide, are you able to get some information, or it's not clear? Do you have any questions?
Go through it once. You sharing the group now. If something is there, I'll message it the group. I will learn all these things.
Okay, so this is the session where we are learning. This is the first day we are learning this sloka. Okay, so if you want, you can wait and see how others are sharing the knowledge. Then you can take turns. Okay, so maybe I will start today.
Also, we can inform Viniji. Generally, in the group, we share the talk by sriprabhuji about the shloka that we are going to be contemplating. So what we do in the session here is going into depth of the shloka. So you can come prepared by listening to that particular talk. And that will be shared every week before the session. So maybe this week you may not have seen it. Like how Sharanji said, today you can listen to all of us. And then from next week, you can also come prepared.
थोड़ा गरम Oh, sorry. Next time I'll be prepared.
Yeah, also, is it me? Vinij's audio is not very clear to me.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
not very clearly audible.
Can happen.
Okay. Let me share. So, Viniji, you want to say something? Are you trying to say something?
No, I think there was some background noise. You can continue, Sarvanji.
Yeah. So,
I'm just learning. I'm just seeing the meaning of these slokas.
okay. Yeah. So I had this question always. Why is that this knowledge, which we have been seeing so very natural, relevant, useful to the day-to-day, not being taught or introduced to everyone, right? Like how we study science and other subjects, right? I always had this question. And I feel this sloka gives the reason. Okay. So what I see is first is he's saying the ancient knowledge of yoga. So yoga, he's saying it's not something that has started when he said, even when he gave to Arjuna, he's saying it is ancient, means it was there even before and very long time back, right? So it's not something new he's telling him, number one. And number two, he's saying it's a supreme secret. Okay. So he's telling Arjuna that supreme secret, that means not everyone knows. And today, whoever is here, I'm sure like we are all fortunate enough to hear that like whatever we are learning is a supreme secret. Okay. So a supreme secret definitely gives a big advantage to the person who is learning over others who are not, right? That way, we should be feeling blessed that we are learning this, right? And why is it supreme secret? Why is that it's not given to everyone? Okay. So he says then, because two reasons. You are my friend as well as my devotee. Who can understand this transcendental wisdom? So, which basically, if you see, to roughly translate or like give example, it's like, when does somebody get admission in a medical college? You need to have some pre-qualification. You need to have some relevant good scores, and you need to have that interest wherein like you put some hard work to get good scores, and then like you go and like crack a entrance exam which tells the system that you are more closer than the others to get this knowledge of of the medicine, right? So very similarly, he's saying you need, what I can understand is you need to have that pre-qualification, because what I'm going to give is such a secret, and to be able to make sense out of it, you need to be able to understand what I'm going to say. And two qualities that make you is, one, you are my friend, which is like someone who should be thinking of Krishna, seeking Krishna all the time, right? If you are not interested in reaching out to someone, naturally you will not get what that person has, right? And another one is my devotee. You are praying to him all the time. Right? So it's like in somewhere he says, out of the lakhs of people, okay, 1% of them will even think about Krishna, and about the lakhs who think, 1% like will have that bhakti. And like if you see like that the percentage gets very small and small and small, and finally there is that one who gets that transcendental knowledge for every lakhs of that people who are going through this life, right? So this wisdom is such a treasure and requires some qualification to get it. Only those who are ready are able to get this. And it was Arjuna who was ready on that day, in that time, because when Krishna was giving this to Arjuna, it was not basically what we hear is everything came to a still, and a time stopped, and nobody, and like it was Arjuna who got it, and I believe Sanjay also hears, because that's how uh, he tells Dhritarashtra what's going on. So Vijayji, is that's right? Sanjay also hears the.
Yeah, Sanjay also hears, and also he realizes, and he's also narrating to Dhritarashtra, so he's also listening,
So
hearing, but may not be making any sense to him.
so he did. So he was just transferring, but he did not make the.
Because ultimately the entire narration is Dhritarashtra asking, Sanjaya telling, which means that he must be narrating all this.
Mm.
This is what Arjuna said, this is what Krishna is saying. But how much of it is being grasped depends upon, who is the receiver.
So that also explains, right? In a classroom where like you might have got the qualification, like let's say you cleared 10th standard, right? And you are in the 11th, you cleared it. Just because you cleared it and sit in the class, you don't get the knowledge that the teacher is also giving. Only when you are fully tuned, fully prepared, fully ready to receive the knowledge, you get it. Right? So and I can see that in my few years of in our own Gita circle, few get attracted and like they are able to join, but there is this thing where like they are unable to hold on and continue, right? And that's where I see that you need to have that intense desire to get it, to get this wisdom. Right? Intense desire is something like this has to be the highest one compared to all the things that one is doing. And it is always at every point of time we have the choice. We are making choices all the time, right? And to be able to make the choice and come and like get this knowledge, it is a test of the desire, how intense the desire is to get this. And that's why it has remained as a supreme secret, where only very few are able to get it, or like very few are able to get it completely. Because you may even, like depending on the good deeds, some may get, some are able to be there for 10% of the entire Gita's contemplation. Some are able to be there for 20%, and like very few are able to complete that 100% of the contemplation. Right? And the other thing I can see is why. Why is that when someone decided to get the knowledge, not able to complete? I think this is my view, which is related to another shloka where Krishna says, do the karma without expecting the fruit, right? And I always wonder, like, is it learning Gita? Is it giving, like, Sashti has joined new, right? Is it giving you something right away? Are you getting something just because you attended the session? Because it is always easy to go back to something if I get something, which is the common knowledge one we see in the world, right? Why do I go to work every day? I get some salary right away. Like, let's say, what happens if somebody says, you know what, you keep doing, depending on how it turns out, you will get it, right? Then very few who will be fully interested and like passionate about that will be able to do it, right? Same way, this is the test of the teaching itself, that what you get by attending, it's not something right away available. It's not something you can see it right away. There's this two ways of returns being told, right? Drishta phala and adrishta phala, right? Drishta is like you do something, you get it in return, which you can see it. The adrishta is it's not visible to you what you are getting in return. But but then there is the secret, right? Will you do it? So whatever you are doing, is it because of the drishta phala? You are doing it because something you are getting in return which you can see, or the other way? The other way is like you are doing it because you feel that it's right to do, and your desire is towards that, even if you don't see the return right away, right? So only those who can who are interested and like ready to receive, or like you who don't know what you're going to get, right? It may show up in the long term, or like it may be showing up in a daily life where, but you cannot relate that the return because of the learning, right? So because of these reasons, the way I see it is, it is remained as a secret, and it very few get the things, get the knowledge from Gita. That is how I understood this shloka. Thank you. Before we go to Padmaji, Shashti or Viniji, do you now want to share what you feel?
Yes, this is my first class, so like I'm not getting what should I share. Like it's just starting.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
So I basically shared how I understood this shloka, right? So I
Okay.
focused on these words. One is
Meaning of shlokas. Meaning of shlokas.
yeah, how I interpreted it. Okay. I'm sharing
I have
how
to study more. I have to study more on this.
okay, fine. Sure. Shashti?
Thank you.
Yes, Sarananji, I have only very few things to discuss.
Yeah.
You can just let me know whether my point of view is right in that way or not. So I heard Prabhuji thing like the sloga was discussed. From that I just want to say something about what Prabhuji has
Yes.
given, explained the sloga. So I just want to take some words of him only.
Okay.
That is what it's coming into my mind now. So he's just telling like he's just comparing like as a friend means our best friend. So if we are not well, that is if our health is not good, so we will be informing to our friend like I am not feeling well. But whatever medicines he give, that will not work because he doesn't know that knowledge, like which medicine to give. And whereas we go the doctor. So when we approach the doctor, he will understand like what our real cause is, and then he will try to give some medicines. And when we take that medicines, our health is good. So that is how he is comparing. Krishna is comparing with Arjuna, saying like only knowledge people can share all the knowledges, whereas Ajnana peoples cannot share because for that specific thing they don't have the knowledge to share. So that's why I am sharing to you as you are my friend as well as the devotee, like that. That's it.
Yeah,
That is
that's a good point you got, right? So from whom will you listen? Like someone whom you feel he is knowledgeable and whom you trust 100%. Because if you don't see that other person is knowledgeable, then like even if that person tells a lot of things, you are not going to give that much importance. Number one, right? Number two, even if that person is knowledgeable, but if you don't trust him, whatever he says, you are not going to accept it. You may not be able to accept it. So both are needed, right? And here Arjuna is treating Krishna in that way that like he has the knowledge and he trusts him fully.
So as per my understanding, each and every person will have one guru. I am talking about all the human beings. I'm not talking about only the peoples who are here. So like that way, if we want to search our guru, we have to search until we get the guru. So if we get the guru, then we will get the sufficient knowledge and we can be a devotee to him.
Yeah. So there, Guruji has said, one, the seeker, as like you or me, you cannot find a guru because how do you know who is a guru? You cannot go by what others are saying. So he's a guru, right? You cannot evaluate a guru. To be able to evaluate, you need to have the kind of knowledge to evaluate, right? So what is said is, when you take the steps in the right direction, when you do the right things, the guru will appear for you and will take your hand and guide you.
Yes, Arun. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that is decided by like what kind of desire you have, where like, let's say, what happens like when you need something, right? You start talking about it to everyone, right? You start thinking about it all the time, right? So as you start doing this, the need for it becomes intense, and like someone will say, you know what, come, I will show you. This person is very knowledgeable, and like that person will listen to you, and then like there you will know that like whether you got the right guru or not. And also in other slokas, it is given how do you know whether a guru is a realized master. Okay, so we will cover that in the later slokas.
Okay, Sarunaj.
Any
That's
other
it. I
points
have.
regarding the supreme secret
No,
and the
Sarunaj.
transcendental wisdom?
This is what it's not coming to my mind.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Padmaji?
I think Sasti brought about a beautiful example, whether it was directly lifted from Guruji's talk or not, the doctor and the patient example. So with reference to that example, what I feel is he connected correctly that the expert in that field only can prescribe it. Now in this shloka, with reference to this shloka, I feel the expert here is who? One who is self-realized, one who is established in that knowledge, in that jnana, in that wisdom, is the one who will be giving who is capable of transferring that knowledge. That is one. Second, this is an ancient knowledge. That means it has been there for time immemorial, and it has transferred down ages after ages through a certain process. What is that process? That process is a guru and a disciple. That is how this knowledge has been transferred from a guru to a disciple, then from the disciple to another person. Like that it has come. So now here, I think when he says that it is a supreme secret, why is it a supreme secret? Because everybody is not seeking this knowledge. That is one. Second, unless and until you seek the knowledge, you search for it, a guru will not appear in your life. Second, even if a guru appears, before the guru appears, you have to have the bhava of surrender. Surrender to the guru. By what are the qualities that you essentially need to have? Faith in his teachings and trust him completely and follow that path. So only when you are of that bhava, that within you there arises a seeking that, okay, I don't know, so now you guide me. I don't know anything. I am completely surrendering to listen to you and implement it as well, follow as you direct me, is when a guru appears and the knowledge is given to you. Second, what is this knowledge? This knowledge is about Atmajyoti, who you truly are. When you know who you truly are, you are able to perform or function without any confusion. There is a clarity. There are no doubts and questions on the actions that are going to be performed by you. And there are a certain knowledge that is transferred, that is happening, which gives you clarity to function in this external world that you are supposed to. So this is my understanding of the shloka, Saravanji. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Padma. Vijayji.
We also have Ishaji. Would Ishaji like to share?
She said she's not in a...
Vijayji, not much, but yeah, after everybody spoke, I just have one doubt. I know that, when we are ready, yes, we can meet the Guru. See, that's what they say, when you are an Arjuna only, you can see Krishna. So we all have a teacher, we all have a Guru. When we are actually in all way ready, our instincts or whatever will guide us to our Guru.
Yes.
Okay. But
yes,
that is 100% true. But how, most of the time in what's happening in today's world, if you see, most of the preaching starts, with spirituality itself. It starts off saying that I am doing God's work. Okay. But unfortunately, the one who is guiding them is not guiding them to self-realization. Mostly, it is not within, process is not within, right? It is external. Like for most of the thing, whatever they say, the biggest war is happening for religion only. And these are people, most of the people have gone to their own gurus. See, like the way we have Vijay sir and all this satsang, or, we have so many other way. Every, our dharma has this, and many religion has different kind of gurus, right? So how do we say that, I don't know, how do we say which is right, which is wrong to them? Throwing bombs is also something Guru has taught people, right? For them, it is their Guru, it is their teachings. Or converting people. I really don't know the entire, the person, people name, but there is this guy who was about 18 or 20 or some age like that, who was sent to India during that British rule. He was a missionary, so he was sent, handpicked by Pope, so that he'll come and convert. I don't know if somebody knows the story with names, it'll be nice to hear. So he was sent here. So for him, his guru is somebody whom he believed that he is doing God's work, right? So he came to India to convert people to Christianity here in India. So that time, the village which he settled, I think it's in Uttarakhand or near to Himalayas or Kashmir. I'm really not sure. I heard it like really long back. So there was a plague like COVID, something like that. Then he saw a person without giving up and village running away. He was actually curing people. So when he went to that guy and asked, what are you doing? Then he explained him what is his dharma, what is his, and he just did. He didn't even bother to say, you have to do this, you have to do this. He was just doing what was right for him. He was curing people with the best knowledge he has. He says, this is what I have learned from my guru. This is what I follow. And this guy who has come, now the white guy, he felt that, this is what I actually wanted to do. So what I actually was sent to do in India is not what I'm born to do. That is not God's work. What this guy is doing is God's work. So he said, how do I learn more about the Sanatan Dharma and all? And he was given a book to read. He said, his name is, author's name is some Satya, I really don't know, sir. But he was given this book. After he read this book and all, he was so inspired. Then he said, okay, fine, from now, I want to change my name. I want to follow this Dharma. And he actually changed his name and started following this Dharma. When folk, they came to know that he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, they arrested and put him in the jail. Because it's obviously British rule. You can just arrest people. So when he was put in jail, there he met a freedom fighter, who was also in the same jail. Then he actually, the guy who came as a part of a missionary, started fighting for India's freedom. He became part of freedom struggle. So yeah, it's not which religion is good, bad, nothing. So this guy happened to meet this person where he understood what is actually knowledge, what is actually guru, what is actually he is meant to do, what is service, right? So if you're not with the proper guru, you'll end up doing something which is actually not. But since your guru is saying you, this is only right, this is only God's way of working, people just follow. So how do you break that part? So it's better not having a guru and just going by nature than having a wrong knowledge put into young minds.
See, that's why the whole of the teaching methodology is a question and answer methodology, first and foremost. So what we call as a reasonable doubt. So let us understand this a little, from this viewpoint. So first of all, take a personal viewpoint. Okay, let's say I have a problem. When I have a problem, I want to find a solution. Imagine, let's take the simplest example. I have pain in the leg. And for whatever reason, let's assume it's bothering me. Now I want to find a solution. So what are the important things that are needed if I have to find a solution? First and foremost, I have to acknowledge that I have something that I want to change. In other words, I have to acknowledge that there is a problem. That is the first thing. Second thing I have to acknowledge is that for whatever reason, whatever the knowledge I have, with that I'm not able to remove that pain. So which means that I have to take somebody else's help. So that's the second important step in the journey. Third important step in the journey. Now I have to find someone who I think can remove this pain. So how does it happen? In the case of, example that I'm taking, I would usually maybe talk to some friends. Hey, I have leg pain. I don't know where to go. Somebody may say, go to that Ayurveda Pandita. Somebody may say, no, go to that naturopathy doctor. Somebody may say, no, go to that orthopedic surgeon. So like that, there may be 3 or 4 multiple alternatives that may come. Again, depending upon who all you speak to. Now what happens? Who will you pick? Depends upon multiple factors. First factor, of course, is your own tendency. I am a big believer in naturopathy. So you will even prompt your friends, tell me a good naturopathy doctor, which means in your mind, you already have narrowed down your search. If you don't have a inclination or a tendency like that, then among the friends who give you the suggestion, you may pick that friend who you have a relatively higher faith, or maybe they also were suffering from the same problem and now they have got cured. You say, okay, maybe this is the right friend to pick. He also last year I saw him suffering from the leg pain, more or less similar. So now therefore let me follow the path that he took. This is how you first choose to go to a particular doctor. Then when you go to the doctor, you may not have studied that whole medicine system. You may not understand why the doctor is recommending certain steps. Maybe as soon as you go, the doctor may write 3 or 4 steps, tests, get that scan done, get that blood test done, urine test done, so many things. Why will you follow that? Because you have a certain faith, certain trust. You have not yet got full verification whether this is going to work or not, but based on circumstantial evidence. What are the circumstantial evidences? You asked your friend, and your friend has said, it has worked for me. And when you go, you also look at that person, the way that person speaks, whatever, some signals come to you. And you say, it's okay, let me take that step. Whatever he's saying or she is saying, let me take those steps. Will it actually work? I may not know, but it seems to have worked. So let me take these steps. So it's a first step towards true surrender. What it is, there is a certain reasonable doubt. It's okay to have that doubt. It's perfectly okay to have that doubt. But there is also certain confidence. And how does the doubt dissolve and how does it become full faith, full confidence in the doctor? So you take maybe the test and the doctor looks at the test and the doctor says, oh, yours is a very simple problem. Here is the thing that I want you to do over the next 2 days. I want you to just not have, eat this, and next 2 days you do this and you come back to me. And the steps you're following, the next 2 days, you start noticing, Arey, my pain is reducing. So now your doubt is dissolving and your confidence is increasing. This is how you and I solve any of the problem where we may not have the knowledge, is it not? So in a similar way, what is the problem that Arjuna is having or you and I are having in our so-called life? Why are we at all interested in learning Bhagavad Gita in the first place? Because, my God, I'm so tired of all the tension, worry, anger, irritation that I'm having. Somebody says something, I get irritated, or somebody says that that is good, this is wrong. I'm so confused, which is what this Arjuna is going through. He's supposed to be a king. He's supposed to be fighting that war. He's so confused. He's so worried, so tense, which is the same case with you and me. Our circumstances are different. He is fighting the so-called war where 2 people are fighting face to face, but you and I are fighting different kinds of war. Our husband, our wife, our children, our other relatives say something, our bosses or our employees do something, neighbors are doing something, newspaper is saying something. So it's a similar setup. The circumstances are different. So first and foremost, the pain you and I are feeling is that of I'm agitated, I'm irritated, I'm angry, and I'm upset. And what I want to be peaceful. Arey yaar, ye sab chodo. Whatever that is happening, why at all you want to listen to Bhagavad Gita? Because first and foremost, you and I want some sense of peace. I'm so sick and tired of all this mental agitation. So I want some peace, right? That's what I'm seeking. So in that journey, you will meet many people. To who do you transfer your trust? Very simple. Like the example that we took with the doctor, you first begin somewhere. Some friend says, I went there, I did that particular teaching that they gave me, I practiced that, I feel very good. So like that, you may begin somewhere. And why are you beginning there? Because you also have certain tendencies. So if you look at spiritual path, fundamentally there are four spiritual paths. There is bhakti, there is karma, there is kriya, there is jnana. So what is bhakti? One of the path may say, come here, we are going to do this puja to this divine form, and we will be chanting, and our practice is to continue to offer seva to this divine form. So there are certain japas. Through that, you will find the whatever you're seeking. So who will go there? Who has a bhakti tendency? Who will begin at the kriya? Someone who has a kriya tendency. What is kriya? Some kind of an energy transformation. So I like pranayama, and through pranayama I find lot of peace. Good, begin there. Or my guru has taught me certain kriya movements, and when I do those kriya movements, I find lot of energy. So there is a change, and that is my path. So be it. So like that, fundamentally, these four paths are there. And who goes to which path, again, depends upon their own tendency. Birds of the same feather flock together. You have heard that, right? Why the crows are together, why the sparrows are together, why the pigeons are together, why are they not mixing up with each other? Because of a certain mental tendency, first and foremost, is it not? Even in a party, when you go, who do you seek out to be with? Depends upon your own mental tendency. Though there may be 150 people in a party, you tend to go. In a classroom also, you've seen this. There tends to be certain birds of the same feather flocking together. We know who the last bench loafer boys are. I don't know why only boys are loafers, but that is how it is usually said. And the first two benches are for all these kudumis of the world. They are sitting there, and then they're the ones who they're the teacher's favorite. So like that, it naturally happens. What it means, naturally means, there's a mental tendency. So that draws them towards that. So coming back, so therefore, which guru is the right guru? So therefore, that tendency in me to ripen also takes a lot of time, a lot of journey. See, you may go to some doctor your friends have prescribed. But it may so happen that, when you go and with whatever you took, suddenly your condition worsened. So what do you do then? One is you can sit and cry about it. You can blame your friend. You can sue the doctor and find out what is the next one. So like that, you naturally take steps, is it not? So therefore, the short answer to what you are asking is, there is no way that, before I ripen, I cannot know who is the right guru for me. But what I can certainly know is my pain going away. I've gone to this doctor, is my pain reducing? So what is the pain I'm carrying? I get agitated. Is my agitation coming down? I get angry easily. Is my anger coming down? I feel very confused. Am I feeling more and more clearer? Am I able to face life situations happily? What are the people around me feeling? What am I feeling within me? So these are some of the indicators that you are in the right company. At the end of the day, look out for where you feel peaceful, happy, energized, and a sense of well-being. Wherever that is, that must be the right step or the right path that you are on. So therefore, the world is like a market, no? And especially spiritual market is probably the biggest market, because the sorry for using such a word, the goods called God, everybody sells. The goods called God, everybody sells. Some sell God in the name of fear. Some sell God in the name of somebody who bestows everything that you are seeking. So therefore, there is no way to know. The only way to know is your own inner stability. Does that bring clarity to the question you are asking? Isha ji?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I couldn't unmute quickly.
No
Yes, sir.
problem. Yeah. So which is what Sri Krishna is saying here in this shloka. The greatest secret. Why is it the greatest secret? So Arjuna was confused. And what did Sri Krishna is doing when Arjuna said, I'm confused? He did not tell him, don't be confused. It's okay. It will be all right. He didn't do any of that. He went to the root. What is the root of the problem? Root of the problem is my own attitude towards life. At the end of the day, my suffering in life is only due to my attitude towards life. Because life, whether it is for Sri Krishna or Sri Rama or Jesus or whoever, Prabhuji or Amritanandamayi Mata, whoever you take as the greatest master, Vivekananda, everybody had to go through the life situation like you and I did or are doing. They also had to have the same, in the morning they had to also go brush their teeth, use the shower. They also had to have a wife or a husband or children to take care of. They also had a body, and the body would give them some problem at times. There would be some relatives who will come and scold them. So hundreds of things happen in their life also. So it is not the situation that you say is helpful for them. You, especially who you call as these great souls or Mahan or great masters, their life is much more miserable than your and my life. Just to take the example of Sri Krishna, right from before birth itself, somebody wanted to kill him. So such a disastrous life. Sri Rama, we keep talking about Sri Rama. What a miserable life. He had to be gone, be away from his wife, and when he comes back, could he be with her? No, he had to give her up. So would you call that a very, oh, what a wonderful, everything he had, that's why he could be so enlightened? No. The situations of those people is much worse than any of our situations. And that is why we call them as great masters. That is why the enlightenment, symbol of enlightenment is the flower called lotus, which usually grows in muck. So it is the muck, meaning what? It is a situation around you and me that is the substance for our inner growth. The substance for our inner growth. So many wonderful people. Just today, I was seeing one wonderful movie, Helen Keller's. You all may know her. Helen Keller. She was born normally, but somewhere in the 9th month or 11th month, something happened. She lost her eyesight. She lost her hearing ability. She could not speak. Her parents were well off, but uh, she could not be taught anything. Imagine for a moment, you cannot see, you cannot hear. The only sense that seems to be working, or the only senses that seem to be working, is your smell, your touch, and your taste. How do you teach someone with that? You cannot say anything, you cannot show them anything. So she, for a very long time, grows up to be very wild because she doesn't know anything better. And her parents are at the brink of giving up because she's just like that. So, what a miserable life. What a wretched life. You cannot communicate anything that you feel. You have a wonderful mind, but you cannot say anything. You cannot learn anything. You don't know what is happening. Excellent life. And from there, the turning point in her life is a teacher who comes into her life. And the teacher herself is also just passed out of a school for blind. And she herself is having a lot of troubles in how I can deal with this child. But she has a deepest desire to bring transformation in this child. Because the teacher's life was such that her brother had died in front of her. So she felt somewhere if she had acted proactively, she could have helped. So that's the feeling that drives her. The deepest desire to be of value to somebody. There are some wonderful moments in that movie. So the parents, when she has to teach, the child is very, very obstinate. So she would throw things away. And the parents in their blind love think that, oh, okay, so she doesn't know anything better. So let us comply to whatever she's asking. Whereas the first thing that this teacher does is, she would stop them. She would say, I will not give her any food. Let her learn how to eat food right way, because she would eat like wild animals, that Helen Keller. So this teacher would stop. But the parents would feel, yo, you're being so cruel to the child. And what she says, the teacher, what she says is, I don't want this child to be dependent on me or you. My deepest wish is to see this child stand up. And right now you're giving everything out of love, and that is not helping her to learn how to fend for herself. In your blind love, you're making her dependent on you. Like the saying goes, no? Is it better to give somebody a fish to eat or to teach them how to fish?
Right? It is easy to just show love, but
To
not easy
to feel pity
teach.
and to say, ayo, papa, ayo,
That
papa.
is the easiest one.
But what the teacher does is, I don't want to give pity to her. I want to help her to stand up. Oh, what a wonderful life story. And Helen Keller turns out to be, one of these great activists for blind and such disabled people. She stood for the rights of such people. She passed out and did her bachelor's degree. So that movie shows that part of the teacher and that Helen Keller, where they are struggling with each other, and the turning points, and how she breaks through, how she helps her to learn, how the words are taught to Helen Keller, and how she grasps, and the moment she grasps, how suddenly the world transforms. So like that, at the end of the day, you and I may not know who's the right teacher. Am I the right student? May not know. But what matters, do I have the desire to transform my situation? That is important for me as Arjuna. That is important for me as a seeker. Something is not right. I want to transform. And what is the right quality in that teacher? I want to help. I want to give the best that is within me. I don't know will it work or not, but I want to give the best. So when both of us are giving the best, something magical happens. So rather than worrying about, am I the right student? Am I the right teacher? The best thing is, am I being the best student in whatever the capacity that I have? Am I the best teacher? In what way? In whatever the capacity I have. Am I the right teacher? Don't know. Am I the best teacher? Don't know. But am I giving my 100%? That's all you and I can guide, control. All right.
I think I wanted to add one point to it, like, which is it should start with self, with the person who has the question. Basically, the question to ask is like, am I feeling comfortable? Am I feeling that I'm going in the right direction? Which is there is a simple answer to it, which is like, am I finding myself more peaceful, more happy? Am I getting that clarity? Am I getting clearer than what I was before? Right? These simple questions should give an answer that, like, whether the path is right or not. Obviously, if let's say I meet someone as a guru who says, do this, do that, and if somebody says, throw stones, like you're not, it's a very simple answer that, okay, this is not what I'm looking for. Right? At the end of the day, I want to find myself in a peaceful state, and I want to see how I can help others to be happy and healthy and peaceful. Right? So that's a, I think that's a human. It's a humanly very simple, straightforward answer. Everyone who looks for it. Yeah.
Padmaji or Shashiji, is anything more to add? Or
No, sir.
Vijayji, I just have only one thing from the thing which you have. So that is also like how Saravanan-ji is telling, that one also is depends upon his own way of attitude only. So what way he wants to choose, it is up to him only. So it can be good or it can be bad. Only one thing, this is what I just want to convey.
absolutely.
And throughout the Puranas also we see, right? There was a Ravana, there was a Hiranyakashipu, and like the whole creation allows. What I see is the whole creation doesn't stop anything. It allows every possible combination to exist. You put all these variables that we see, you will find all. It's not easy to count it, but the way I see it, right, the creation, all possible combinations seem to exist. Now it's up to you, up to me, on what I feel is the right combination, the ideal one. And the way it is, the creation is that one desires towards a particular combination. If it is serious enough, you will end up in that. In another life, you will end up in that way. And like you can keep on taking multiple births with in different as different unique being. Okay. But at the end of the day, at some point of time, one has to realize that, okay, if everything is possible, then like, who am I? I am the one like who is creating that desire, and I am the one who is that desire is getting fulfilled and like going through it. And it's up to me whether to stop it or like continue to keep going on and on and on and on and on. And at some point of time, because it is finally telling you that like you can become whatever you want. If this is what you want, tathastu be it. So like this has to stop somewhere, right? Otherwise it becomes like a the rat running on this wheel, endless thing. There's no, you're not going anywhere.
Viniji, is there anything that you would like to ask or say? Are you there, Viniji? All right. So shall we end, Sarananji?
Yes, Vijayji.
Okay. So shall
Can
Hari
add
Om.
group. We can mention in the group the process, I think. Because her audio was also not clear, right? When Saravananji was trying to explain to Viniji what is contemplation and all that, how do we do that? I think we can once put it in the group for her.
Sure. Okay, I'll stop the recording, Sarananji. Hari Om.
Okay. Hari Om.